Hi friends, and welcome to another Pick a Card reading. So the theme of today's reading is going to be, what is a story that you tell about yourself? And what is the story that you could be telling about that? So if there's some way that you're seeing yourself which is self-sabotaging or holding you back in some way, then we're going to be looking into how you could reframe that narrative so that it serves you rather than holding you back. So there are going to be 3 different readings. There are going to be these 3 different tarot decks. So this is the English Magic Tarot, the Motherpeace Tarot, and the Wild Unknown. So that's 1, 2, and 3. And as always, all of the timestamps for the readings will be pinned in the description box below. So once you have figured out which deck is calling to you, which story is going to be for you, then you can click that timestamp and it will take you directly to your reading. And I do urge that before you select your deck, take some deep breaths. Ground yourself, bring yourself into a calm place, because if you are in a calm and aligned place, then the reading that you choose is going to be the most supportive reading for you at this moment in time. So pause the video, do whatever you need to do, and I will see you at your timestamp. Hello Group 1, those of you who picked the English Magic Tarot. So what I've done is, in the back row we've got the story that you have been telling, and in the front row this is the new story that you can be telling. So the back story, the old story, is all about partnership. We have the Ace of Cups, which is all about love, emotional connection, offering love, and we have the King and Queen of Wands. So this is a partnership between 2 people who are really complementary to each other. They're both super passionate people, and between them there is this potential for emotional fulfillment, for them to share some kind of emotional fulfillment together. But this King of Wands is struggling with these hidden desires. Like, on the surface he's trying to appear calm and collected and just down with whatever's going on, making it work, showing up. And underneath he's got these desires which are kind of plaguing him, and it's like he's beating them off. He's using the one passion that he has in his hand, the one desire that he has in his hand, and beating off all of the other desires which he perceives to be kind of sneaky and likely to trip him up in this partnership. And his old story is that maybe he has to hide that experience in order to make his partnership work, and in order to share this fulfillment with this other person. Now in the front there is a dissolution of this story. With the 7 of Swords, we have someone who can't catch hold of any of the ideas or concepts that they have used in the past. Nothing is quite applying to his current situation, and he doesn't have a universal truth which he can apply to his current reality. And with the Queen of Pentacles, I think that she is the same as the Queen of Wands, and I think that she is also the same as this card, which I'll get to in a moment. This person kneeling in front of the Queen of Pentacles is holding all of these scrolls, and I think that they are trying to reveal all of this truth to this Queen of Pentacles. Now the Queen of Pentacles, she represents stability. She is the person who can grant material, nurturing stability to this person who's kneeling in front of her, and he is offering up all of these secrets, I think, that have been tucked away inside for her to judge, because although this is the Two of Swords, I'm seeing it as a judgment card. And so she is going to weigh up the truth of each of these revelations that he is making towards her. And because it's not, oh, I said judgment, I meant justice. I see this as the justice card. Because it isn't actually justice, she is new to this task. She's not exactly versed in this task. So there is a kind of young quality or an untested quality to her ability to weigh these things up. But there is a search for truth here, and there is a kind of weighing up of that which is revealed. So she's being perceived here as a monarch. She's being perceived as someone who holds the key, but when it comes to this situation, she is just as new to it as he is. And with this Page of Swords, I see there is forward movement with this new idea. See, in this card, there are no swords in his hand. He can't quite grasp any of his previous ideas. As I said, he can't apply any of his previous ideas to his current situation, but this Page of Swords is moving forwards, and there is a new idea in their hand, and it is a young idea. It's an idea in which neither party is very well versed, but there is this idea of, okay, let's move forward with something new here, which neither of us have ever tried before. And because it is the Page of Swords, there is an element of added scrutiny here. It is very much under review what's happening. It's not set in stone. It's not necessarily entirely comfortable yet. It's going to be very closely observed to see how it works. But there is forward movement, and there is communication. So with the old story, both of the parties in this relationship are coming out as monarchs. They are the king and queen, so they have something well established which they are able to make work. But there is also this realization that it is not fully representative of the way that they are inside. So they are leaving this well-established way of doing things behind, and they're stepping into a new way of doing things in which both of them are new, and both of them are going to have to learn how to make it work as they go along. And there is a very clear focus on truth-telling here, on clear communication and honest communication. But it does feel kind of exciting at the end, as though this Page of Swords at the end is saying, I don't know what we're doing, but let's do it. And it's the Page of Swords, so they're going to be watching you pretty closely while this happens. And if that is agreeable to you, then this may work. So I'm going to pull one last card. I'm going to pull an oracle card and see if we get any additional messages here. So this is from the Mother Mary Oracle, and it is Our Lady of Sacred Union. So I'm just going to read to you from the guidebook to this oracle deck and give you the message that way. There is a conflict occurring within you, and perhaps you see this reflected in your world. There are warring opposites trying to find a way to be together in peace. It is not because you are doing something wrong, it is because you are doing something right. You are growing. I will keep you safe. I will ensure you find the way by which all can function in harmony. Trust me as I guide you into sacred union with yourself and with the world around you. Do not give up, beloved. Harmony will find its way into your heart soon. Sometimes choices need to be made between this way or that. Sometimes this is healthy and essential for our growth, yet there are other times when a choice of inclusion, choosing both this way and that, is the way through which we can best grow. A choice of inclusion allows us to learn how to bring apparently opposing forces together into harmony within us and in our world. So I'm going to leave it there, group number 1. I hope very much that this resonated for you and that it was enjoyable for you or fun, or that it brought you some clarity or validation on your journey. I am always so excited about how these messages can come out just at the right moment and help us when we need it, and blown away that that is possible in this universe. So I am super grateful to you for coming and checking out this video, and if it did resonate for you, please give me a comment or give the video a like or subscribe to my channel, because those things they boost my YouTube profile, which is a little way of giving back to me for doing the readings. And so thank you so much for coming by, and I hope that you have a very beautiful day. Bye. Hi group 2 and those of you who were drawn to the Motherpeace Tarot. So the message that I am seeing here is all about abundance and recognition. See, the old story, which I have in the back row here, I'm seeing someone who's very passionate, who has all kinds of desires that they love to play with. Maybe they love to daydream, they like to plan things, and their goal is the feeling of abundance. But the way that they have been going about it in the past, the way that the old story has been manifesting, is they are trying to call it into themselves. With the Magician, I see them trying to work every angle to try to get what they want, and doing it by themselves, which is resulting in this energy that is very burnt out feeling. They start out with their desires feeling very vibrant and joyful and youthful, and they end up feeling like they are tired and just kind of holding it together. So maybe this is you, and maybe you have been trying to call things into your life which match the scope of your desires and your dreams. And maybe it is leaving you feeling burnt out, or maybe it is taking from outside of you in a way that is leaving somebody else feeling burnt out and like they have to just protect themselves. That could be you, it could be someone else, I don't know. But in the bottom story, the new story, we have a theme of recognition. It is a new way of recognizing all of the harmony of things, and it moves away from trying to have everything coming to oneself and into an energy of sharing with others. With the Seven of Swords, we're getting out of the energy of like looking over the fence and trying to get the abundance that other people have. And we're also moving out of this kind of miserly energy with the Four of Discs or the Four of Pentacles, where in the past, whatever you were able to get for yourself, it became something that was guarded very closely and very jealously, and because you were not feeling your own abundance, it was much harder for you to share. But with the Four of Cups, there is this feeling of movement into recognizing that you don't need to be filling up your cups with water to take away. If you are playing in a stream by the ocean, you're at the source of abundance. You're playing at the source itself and allowing yourself to be part of things as they are. Not trying to grasp things close to you. There's this feeling of opening up and realizing that you have enough, that there is enough to go around, that this does not need to be a concern. And whether this is material or emotional or both, there is this sense of loosening one's grip and not trying so hard to keep every single thing close and tight to yourself, but allowing things to flow with much more ease. Like dipping your hands into the flow of well-being and abundance and emotional fulfillment and allowing it to just flow over them rather than trying to grasp it and keep it for yourself. And that is the true justice in this situation. And it is not a bad gift that being able to recognize how much is available to you and how much beauty is around you, and the delight that we can take as we play in the source of all of our happiness rather than trying to take it and keep it for ourselves, to bottle it up and take it away from others because of our fears that we won't have enough. There's this recognition that we are all sharing in what there is. So I'm going to bring out an oracle card to finish off this message and see if there is any more clarity or insight that we can add to the old story and the new story. Okay, so this is from the Raven Cards Oracle, and it says, "When the circle closes, it is time to depart. Water your new beginning with tears of sadness, and be sure that birth springs from death, and death from birth." So this is a confirmation that what you had been trying to achieve, the old cycle that you were stuck in, where you were feeling all of this ambition to call into yourself what you wanted, that magician energy of trying to harness source and direct it to your own ends, trying to harness resources and direct them towards your own ends, is replaced with this new story, or it opens up to a new cycle where we have this willingness to walk away from that feeling of trying to grasp and keep for oneself that which in reality is all around us. And there is a kind of new vulnerability moving forwards, which allows a different reality to enter in, allows less jealousy and more open-heartedness to all that is around us. So I am going to wrap up this reading here. I hope so much that it brought you some clarity or confirmation or validation. I love making these videos. I think it is so cool how these stories can come out and help us in a moment when we need it, and I don't understand anything about how that works, but it's just delightfully and at times ridiculously amazing. And if it did resonate for you, liking, commenting, subscribing to my YouTube channel, those things are all going to help boost my channel on YouTube. So if you want to give a little bit back to me in exchange for the reading, if it did bring you something today, that would mean a lot to me, and I would be super grateful. And I love that you came and checked out my video today. Thank you so much. I hope that you have a beautiful day. Thank you. Bye. Hi, Group 3. Those of you who were attracted to the Wild Unknown Tarot. So the stories that I'm seeing here are to do with the acquisition of material wealth. In the old story that you have been telling, you are working in partnership with someone else or something else in order to acquire your money or your material goods, your material well-being. And it's something that you were building towards. So it could be that you are new on a job, or that you are building something with another person, or with a school, or what have you, where you're working towards being able to have some kind of material abundance, but something about the relationship between how you feel about this person or this entity, whether that's an employer or a school or a partner, that relationship between your feelings for them and your patience for this process of building is out of sync. It's making you feel impatient or resentful, and is becoming something which is kind of removing your heart from the situation. And it's much harder for you to tap into the feelings of loyalty that you might want to have for this thing because of the way that you are looking at it. So in the new story, there is a release of this person or this entity which gives money to you in favor of trying to build something on your own terms. But I want to say that there might be a conflict in your beliefs here, because with the Son of Pentacles, which would be the Knight of Pentacles in traditional tarot, and that would represent like slowly building up your wealth in a very considered manner. With this Son of Pentacles, we have the same moon as in the Nine of Wands, but in the way that you're perceiving this other person or this other entity, you believe in the pentacle that is potential from this project but with the Nine of Wands here, where you're creating your own path to what you desire, there is no pentacle in this moon, so it's possible that you still struggle to believe in the material return from what you're doing, even though disassociating from this person or this entity makes it so that you are no longer having to hide what you think about it or hide the fact that it is not entirely resonating with what you might want. There is this uncertainty represented here to do with abundance. And with the Lovers at the end being in the reverse, we might see this as like a breaking of a contract. But what might be potential here is, rather than integration of self with other, integration of self with self. I did feel happy when I saw this Lover's card, and this card, it's very clearly going in the opposite direction, so it's like you may be going another direction to the way that you have been previously. So there is a question of balance and belief here. In the first story, there is an imbalance between what your heart can carry and what your mind is carrying, and it is creating this impatience or resentment or just kind of a mental and emotional disconnect. But in the second story, we might be struggling a little bit with what we believe is possible. So maybe there isn't going to be an immediate financial return from this new thing that you are moving towards, or from this like betting on yourself or gambling on yourself, even though it does mean that you don't have to have this impatience or anger or resentment towards whatever or whoever it is that you are involved with. So, what are your priorities, group number 3? I think that you are on your way to figuring it out. I am going to pull one last card. I'm going to pull an oracle card to see if there's any last insights or messages or confirmations for your reading. So group number 3, we have Our Lady of the Abundant Garden from the Mother Mary Oracle, and this is a very nice message for this reading. I'm going to read to you from the guidebook and deliver it that way. I provide life without limit. You have no need to fear loss or lack. For everything that dies, new life is created to supplant it. For every need that you have, there are ample channels through which that need can be fulfilled. I can provide all with wisdom, grace, and even joyful humor. You can find a way to delight in life and enjoy all the riches that are available to you, if only you open your heart and release your fear. It is habit, not reality, which keeps you uncertain. Trust in me, my child, and be nourished in my living garden of love. If we are so concerned with our needs for survival, we can become blind to how much we already have. It may never seem to be enough for us to feel really safe, happy, and secure. Or perhaps you have trust in your heart, and yet you are also tired of feeling as though you have to work so very hard to get by financially, or that it takes so much for you to feel supported in your work. Or perhaps you feel you have to give so much love and support to get even the smallest amount of attention or affection in return. The mother comes to us with a message that we need not fear for our survival, that she has our back and is protecting and supporting us. We have so much already, and can open to receive so much more as we let go of the fear of loss and lack that shuts us off from the universal flow of abundance. In the mother's garden there is always a blooming harvest. If part of the garden is in decline, it is because energy is thriving and flowing into another part of the garden. There is always abundance. It is always in flow. All we need to do is open to her in trust as we come to understand her way of constant flowing energy. She is asking you now that you recognize that your fears are habit rather than a reflection of a reality in which you must fear. Humanity is evolving together, but there are forerunners in the evolution of the human race that help shift the memories of the body that have been programmed into survival mode. To shift these memories into a place of trust, of curious surrender to see what happens, what unfolds, and therefore become very responsive to divine guidance, allows the human race to heal, to become more creative than reactive. Then humanity can join the divine celebration unfolding upon the planet, rather than reenacting old painful wars. Each one of us who is willing to take this shift from scarcity, fear of poverty, and fear of lack, into a place of genuinely trusting in abundance, in the plentiful provisions of the Divine Mother, helps the rest of humanity learn that it can be done. You are one of the chosen children of the Mother, chosen to learn to play in her abundant garden and feel the safety of her eternally flowing nourishment. Then you can help others to do the same. There exists more than enough for all. As we come to realize this, we can learn how to receive and share, rather than take and fear. So if that isn't consistent with what I was saying about your belief around abundance and your disconnect between your heart and your head, then I don't know what is. I feel pretty pleased with that oracle card because it's very confirming to everything that was in this message. So I am going to leave it here, and I am so grateful to you for checking out this reading today. It is very lovely and it warms my heart, and I am also infinitely grateful to the incredible reality that this is possible, which is mind-blowing to me all of the time. And as always, if the video did resonate with you, please hit the like button or subscribe to my channel or leave me a comment to let me know how it resonated. All of those things boost my profile and it gives back to me for making the video, so it is a nice little act of reciprocity. Anyway, I am so grateful to you for checking this out, and thank you so much for coming by, and I hope that you have a lovely day. Bye.